Yo, what's up guys? In today's video I'm going to share with you both my NA and EU FNCS Grand Final predictions, as I certainly have some strong opinions. I don't think Peterbot and Pollo are going to win FNCS, and I also think there may be some upsets on the card on EU, but stick around to find out what I'm predicting. If you do enjoy this video, make sure to drop a like and subscribe, and also feel free to check me out on Twitch where we're heading to 800 followers. Any support would be greatly appreciated. Without further ado, let me know your predictions in the comments down below, and let's get straight on into the video. Okay, so firstly I'm going to start off with the NA central predictions. Now, it would be rude not to start off by addressing the elephant in the room and the clear favourites Peterbot and Pollo. Now, what do I think? Because obviously I've already stated in this video I don't think they're going to win FNCS Grands, and I'm going to stick by that. Now, I do think after day number 1 they will be ahead. Obviously this is because they have unconned Grimgate, and the medallion is just the most OP thing in the game, and as we've seen already in the Duo Cash Cups, they've won every Duo Cash Cup this season, so they should dominate day number 1. Now, why don't I think they will go on to win overall? This is because day number 2 you're going to have lots of teams further down the leaderboard that need a massive comeback, like Sangilde and Marius did last season on EU. I then think that most of these teams are going to end up conning Grimgate, and you could even have 4 or 5 teams con the Grimgate day number 2, and this is what is crucial. Now, I think because so many teams will go Grimgate, Peterbot and Pollo will struggle to make it off spawn. Now, as we know, on day number 2, points are worth 1.5 times. Now, this basically means that there's 9 games on day 2 instead of 6 games on day number 1, making day 2 way more valuable. This could mean that if Peterbot and Pollo have a really poor day 2, they could actually fall down the leaderboard, and a team that plays consistency over both days, that has a solid day 1, could then overtake them with a solid day number 2, and this is exactly what I expect to happen. I don't expect Peterbot and Pollo to fall very far. I still think they'll get a top 3 placement, but I think the winning team on NA will be a team that has a top 10 placement day number 1 and then plays very consistency day number 2 and ends up taking the title. But this all depends on whether Peterbot and Pollo get heavily conned day 2 or not. If they don't get conned day 2, I think they're going to run away with the title. Now, let's talk about some other teams on NA that are potentially looking good to do well this season. We have Clix and Epic Whale now. Clix and Epic Whale did get a first in the final stage of FNCS Qualifier 1 already this season, and that was with the top 250 teams on NA, so they are already looking promising. We know that they're landing unconned Lavish Lair. Now, this isn't as good as last season, because obviously last season there was that mythic Frenzy Auto Shotgun, which they don't have this season. But Clix and Epic Whale are looking more promising than ever, and many people are saying that this could be Clix's first FNCS title. I don't think they'll go all the way, but I think Clix could get a very solid placement of a top 3 this season. Finally, the third team that I think is going to get top 3 on NAEs is going to be Rise and Eomzo. Now, we know Rise and Eomzo are extremely consistent, and they were first after day 1 of Grands last season. Now, they've been coached by BloodX, and especially Eomzo has been coached by BloodX for a considerable amount of time, and I think that this is a guarantee that this team are going to be top 3. My only issue is that I don't think this team are too bothered about going all the way. Obviously, they want to win, but they'll be more than happy with a top 2 or top 3 placement, whereas a team like Peterbot and Pollo will only really be happy if they get that first place title. But like I said, I think the winner will come from a team who have a consistent day 1 and 2, as Peterbot and Pollo will get grief day 2. But that's all I've got for my NA Central predictions. Okay, so now it's time to move on to my Europe FNCS Grand Finals predictions. Obviously, being my home region, I'm very passionate to see who wins. Starting off, I want to talk about some notable teams. Now, the first one is going to be Marius and Sangilde. Now, obviously, I've already mentioned that they had an insane comeback day 2 last FNCS, and it ended up placing 4th. Now, in terms of this season, we know Marius was on that insane blow-up, and still is obviously going for his massive high kill games in the Solo Victory Cup finals. Also, Sangilde complements Marius very, very well, and this duo are looking very strong. They've already won a Duo Cash Cup this season, and confidence is high after last FNCS's success, and also Marius's insane pop-off this season. If they can stay consistent day 1, I do think this is a team that could possibly go all the way and actually win FNCS Grand Finals, which would complete Marius's insane blow-up and obviously be a huge achievement for both him and Sangilde. Moving on, we'll talk about Mongrel and Savage, not because I think they're going to win FNCS Grands, but because they're a notable team. Now, starting off, Mongrel and Savage haven't unfortunately made a Duo Cash Cup at all this season. They have made a few Performance Eval Cup finals, but no earnings to date. They are obviously in lowers, but I do still think that they are going to successfully qualify to Grands, as they have a few chances to get to the upper bracket, and even if not, they can still qualify from the lowers up to Grands by getting top 15 like they did last season. They are being coached by BloodX and have been grinding, but I still don't think if they do get to Grands, they'll place any better than 30th, but even a positioning like that would still be solid for a player such as Mongrel, obviously due to the amount of period they quit the game for. However, there is one slight problem, and that's that Chap and Tinu recently come second in a recent Duo Cash Cup are also conning their drone drop spot. This means that if Chap and Teeny also make grands as well as Mongrel and Savage, they will be contested like they were last season. Obviously we saw how that ended. But now it's time to talk on to my top 3 for EU. Okay, so the first of my 3 predictions for my top 3 in EU is going to be Vidil and Rezon. Now, we know that Rezon is going to stream the whole of FNCS Grands over on Twitch, and just a quick plug, I will be viewing partying EU FNCS Grands. The link to my Twitch is in the description down below. If you want to come and watch along with us, it would be greatly fun and appreciated. But like I said, Vidil and Rezon recently got 2nd place in the last Eurocash Cup of the season, meaning their confidence will be high going into FNCS Grand Finals. Now, they have already made Grand Finals as they won one of the first 5 games in the upper bracket day 1-2 day, meaning that they are already through to the Grand Finals successfully. They also played really well last Grands and were first for a considerable amount of time before unfortunately falling down the leaderboard. Next up, I want to talk about Queasy and Thomas HD. Now, this is a big shout out to Call Thomas HD for an FNCS title, as we know he's cursed and this just seems like it will never happen. But I think Queasy and Thomas is a pretty safe top 3 shout. Obviously, they come second last FNCS to Moustache and Malabuka by 1 point. Could they go one better this time? It's certainly possible, especially as Thomas gets insane amount of surge damage with the mythical DMR from Mount Olympus, which is where they're landing. However, Mount Olympus has been causing them a few issues off spawn, but if they can sort that out, who knows, anything is possible, and we could see Thomas HD finally break that curse and get his first FNCS title. Lastly, I want to talk about Cami and Seti, which is my final of the top 3 teams that I think are going to come top 3 on EU. Now, Cami and Seti had a back-to-back 3rd places in the recent 2 Duo Cash Cups of this season, and also came 9th in the final session of Week 2 qualifiers, meaning they've got quite a lot of confidence riding into FNCS. Now, this showed already as they also won one of the first 5 games in the first 5 games of upper brackets today, meaning they have also, like Vidil and Rezon, qualified straight through to EU FNCS Grand Finals. However, last Grand Finals they did have a disappointing last performance and will want to bounce back this season to try and secure that spot at the LAN at the end of the year, so I do have pretty high confidence that we will see a very good version of Cami and Seti this FNCS Grands. Anyway guys, that's all from me. If you have enjoyed today's video, please make sure you've dropped a like and subscribed, and also check me out on Twitch. Let me know your FNCS predictions for both NA and EU in the comments, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace out from me.